Hi guys, today in this session I'll be demonstrating how to use joiner transformation and rank transformation. At the end of the session I'll be showing some performance improvement tips. Okay, let's go ahead and see what's the mapping we are going to create for this demonstration. For this demonstration I'll be building a mapping which joins data from two data sources, orders and products, and then I'll be finding the top performing products from that data. Okay, here I'll be using the data sources, orders and products. Then I'll be loading the data to TGT product revenue X, that's the relational table, and I'll be using a transformation joiner, rank, and aggregator. Now let's go ahead and start building our mapping. Okay, here I have already imported the source definition. If you want to see the detailed steps for importing source definition, you can go ahead and see my previous videos. And in the same way, I have already imported the target definition. Please visit my previous video for the details for creating the target definition. And I have already started building the mapping. Here you can see that the orders table and the product table has been created in the mapping designer. Okay, the next step for us will be to join the data from these two tables. Okay, for that we'll be using the transformation called joiner transformation. Okay, if you need to combine data from two tables in SQL, you'll be using the join operation, where you can combine the data between the tables using their relationships. Okay, there you can use the equi-join, left outer join, right outer join, or a full outer join to combine the data. In the same way, you can use the joiner transformation here to combine the data from two different data sources. Okay, let's go ahead and create the joiner transformation. Now let's take the columns to the joiner transformation. I have pulled the columns which is required from the orders table and the product table to the joiner. Okay, let's open and see what the properties. Here I'm going to rename the transformation. Let's go to the ports tab. Here you can see the port name, data type, precision, scale, and input port, output port, and here you can see a new port called a master or detail port. Okay. In terms of SQL terminology, we'll be referring the product table as the parent table and the order table as the child table. But in terms of Informatica, we'll be referring the product table as the master table and the order table as detail table. Okay, and here we have the product table as our master table, so I'm going to set the product table as master by checking these ports. Okay, now let's go to the properties tab and set the type of join we are doing here. Okay, if you click on this drop down list, you can see we can have the normal join, that's the equi-join, master outer join, that is left outer join, detail outer join, that's the right outer join, and full outer join. Here we are going to do a normal join or a equi-join. Okay, now let's go to the condition tab and set the join condition. For that, click on the add button and choose the item number from the master table, that's the product table, and the item number from the order table. Okay, and with that we have given all the properties required for the joiner transformation. Click on apply and OK. So the next step will be to find out the total revenue per item. Okay, for that we'll be using the transformation called aggregator. I'm going to go through these steps pretty quickly. If you need to have the detailed steps, please go to my previous video. Okay, I have created the aggregator which finds out the total revenue and total quantity. Okay, the next step for us will be to identify the top 10 revenue generating products. Okay, for that we'll be using the transformation rank. Let's go ahead and create the rank transformation. Now choose all the columns in the aggregator to the rank transformation. Do a double click, open the transformation for the edit mode, give a name. Okay, and go to the ports tab. You can see the port name, data type, precision, scale, input port, output port, variable port, and you have a new port called the rank port. this is the pod based on which you are doing the ranking for the record. So since we need to find the top 10 products based on the total revenue, I'll be doing the ranking on revenue. Okay, here we can see a group by pod. With a group by pod, you'll be able to group the records together and find out the ranking within it. For example, if you need to find out the ranking within a product category, we can do a group by on product category. But we don't need to have a grouping here. I am going to uncheck all the group by from here. Okay, so now let's go to the properties tab and say that we need to find out the top 10 products, and if you need to find out the bottom 10, you can choose that from here. Okay, now let's go to the pods tab. Here you can see a default pod rank index, and you can see that it's a output only pod. Okay, so using this pod you'll be able to get the rank of each record. Okay, click on apply and okay. The last step what we have is to join the columns from the rank transformation to the target. Okay, with that I have connected the target. Do a right click, arrange all. Okay, here in this mapping I am pulling data from the orders table and the product table and comparing the two data sources using the joiner transformation, and then using the aggregator transformation I am finding the total revenue. Then using the rank transformation I am finding out the top 10 revenue generating products. Then the data is loaded to the relational table. Do a validate. Mapping is valid. Now go to repository and save. Okay, mapping is saved and valid. Now we are ready to start building our workflow. For that, go to the workflow manager. Okay, so there is no any specific properties to be given for the joiner and the rank at the session level, so I have created the session and workflow myself. If you need to see the detailed steps for creating a workflow, please go and visit my previous video. Okay, so now we can start and run the workflow. You can see the workflow is started. Let's go and see the status in the workflow monitor. Okay, its workflow started and succeeded, and you can see that it has read 20 records from the orders table and 11 records from the products table, and it has written the top 10 records to the target table. Let's go and see what's there in the target table. Okay, try the query. Here you can see that the 10 records have been loaded to the target table TGT product revenue X. Okay, now it's time for the performance improvement tips. Okay, for the joiner transformation, to get a better performance, so make sure that you are passing the data as a sorted input. Okay, and once you have the sorted input, make sure that you have the sorted input property is set. Okay, when you are giving the sorted input to the transformation, it will be make the join between the master table and the detail table. Okay, one other thing you can do to get a better performance is to make sure that you are setting the smaller table as master table. The reason why you can do that is master table is the one which will be cached by the joiner transformation. Okay, so if you make a smaller table for caching, it can give better performance. Okay, for the aggregator also you need to make sure that the inputs are passed as a sorted input. Okay, and you need to set the property of the sorted input as set. Okay, you need to make sure that the sorted input is in the same order of the group by pod. Okay, so with that you'll be able to get a better performance for the aggregator. Okay, that's all guys for this video. Please let me know your questions and feedbacks on these videos. In my next session I'll be covering about the reusable transformations and MapRat. Please go to my Facebook page. You will be able to get a complete list of training session, training manual, lab guide, and much more information just for the fans. Thank you once again. See you again for the next video. Bye bye.